Don't allow others to minimize your grief. Don't feel guilty throughout your grief. Grieving process is a time for you. It's a time for you to get reconnected back to who you are as a person. So the first thing that I would suggest to you that you should do is that you have to focus on yourself. And yes, that sounds selfish. Yes, that sounds hard. Yes, that sounds difficult. Yes, that sounds like all the other things that probably you were taught not to be. But this is the time in your life when you actually have to be selfish. You have to care and focus and concern about yourself because you're in ICU. I often tell people, as a relationship trauma coach, that when you're in the process of going through your healing, and especially in your early stages, you are in ICU. You're in intensive care unit. So what that represents is that you need the help. This isn't about everybody else. I mean, look at the example when someone is coming into a hospital and they're on a gurney and they're pushing them through there and they're calling they're calling the doctors and all these different things that are going on. That person that's on that gurney that they're pushing through there needs the help because of the level of the seriousness of the condition that they're in. And that's the same thing with us. The same thing with you. If you're in a position where you've gone through heartbreak, some type of loss, some type of grief that you're in right now, that's as a result of you loving someone. You opening up your heart and you pouring out your heart and loving someone. You being honest and open with them and you giving them everything that you were giving them from a pure place. In the process of all that, maybe they gave you back what you gave them, but maybe because of the heartbreak, maybe they didn't. And because they didn't, you're in a place of hurting. You're in pain. You have to, and I would suggest to you that you address that pain and that you don't use other sources outside of yourself to try to console that pain. Don't run to substances. Don't run to another person. Don't run to working yourself, half to death. Run to the thing that can help you get better. Run to some form of some community or some group, some coaching group, or something that can help you get to a place where you can overcome this thing, where it's no longer controlling your life, and you can start making the transition to a healthier life. Because if we don't go through the stages, if we don't actually understand that there was something that we were attached to that ended up becoming a loss, that after it became a loss, we end up going into heartbreak, and then after we went into heartbreak, we went into grief, and then after you go into grief, if you stay in grief and don't go towards healing, then what we do is we stay perpetually at the same spot, whether it's 15 years later, 10 years later, 8 years later, whatever the time frame, we will stay perpetually at that spot where that trauma took place within our lives if we don't address it. We have to address it. We have to face it. If you face it, part of facing that trauma and that difficulty is sitting in it, feeling the pain. If that means you need to cry, cry. If that means you feel like laughing, laugh. Because when you look at the stages of grief, there's a myriad of a lot of different emotions that you're going to go through. But part of you getting through this is understanding where you are and what you're feeling and why you're feeling what you're feeling. This is why journaling and writing is so important. Because it allows you to give yourself a chance to understand who you are again and to recognize who you are, but also allows you to recognize how you're actually feeling. What are you feeling? And why are you feeling that? What is the origin of that? That's important because you're important. My name is Coach AJ, Arnold Austin. Like, subscribe, and share this video. Like I always say, I believe in you, but you gotta believe in yourself. Thanks. Talk to you soon.